in these programs, we're going to look at miracles. Not the kind of miracles that happened 2,000 years ago in the Bible, or that happened just to holy people and saints. No, the kind of ordinary miracles that happen every day to people like you and me. Have you ever had something just fall into your lap when you least expected it? You know, something you might have been praying for, consciously or unconsciously, and all of a sudden, there it is, the perfect thing. Well, that's what I'm talking about. And those kind of extraordinary things happen to ordinary people. All the stories in these programs happen to real people. So you've never had a miracle happen in your life? Well, don't worry, there's a first time for everything. Today's story is about a young woman called Dora Luna. Now, Dora had always felt a gaping hole in her life. She was a tall girl, and when she looked at her mother's slight frame, she felt ugly. She used to tell the nuns at her East Los Angeles school that she was adopted. She's not adopted, her mother told them. She just looks like her father. But her father had left home before Dora was even born.
I would stare enviously at the girls, you know, when their fathers came to pick them up at school. I really miss my dad. I would cry at night, and it was so hard that he could come. All the other girls had their dads, and I always wondered about mine. One afternoon in September, I was surfing the internet for the very first time. I was in a friend's office, and I was just aimlessly browsing with no particular thoughts in mind. Then I stumbled across a site that let users search for people, and on a whim I punched in my father's name, Uriel Medina. I clicked on the search button, and I absolutely could not believe what I saw. Seconds later, his name came up. There was only one name on the screen. Could this be the person? That night, I must have sat by the phone for about an hour, wondering whether to call. Then I mustered up the courage, and I dialed. Hello? Hello, is Uriel Medina there? He doesn't live there anymore? This is his daughter. Do you know where he lives? Oh, thank you so much.
You know, I never even thought the internet would help me find my daughter, who I'd never even seen. I've never even heard of the internet. And for years after I moved out here to New Mexico, I think about her a lot. Especially recently, having suffered through a bout of prostate cancer, I thought I had to find her in case anything happened to me. I even thought I would enlist the help of a local talk show. And then one evening she calls out of the blue and says, "This is Dora, your daughter." It was a wonderful, beautiful thing to hear her voice. It was a milagro, a miracle.
He said, "Ay, mija, how are you?" It was so good to hear him so welcoming. I didn't know whether I was going to be rejected.
Dora's parents met in the border city of Juarez, where her mother worked as a Red Cross nurse. They dated for 2 years, but a month before Dora was born, he disappeared. Dora's mother, Josefina, waited for 4 months, But Uriel never returned. Anguished, she came to the United States with her infant daughter and settled in East Los Angeles. At first, Dora's mother told her that her father had died in a war.
Later, my mom told me what had really happened. Even though I'd not met Uriel, I always felt he was my dad. She remarried when I was 10, but I could never call my stepfather Dad. I used to watch those reunions on TV and cry. I used to fantasize about asking them to find my dad. I felt very alone. I felt I couldn't identify myself.
I don't remember the exact circumstances of why I left, but I think it was because of a disagreement between me and Josefina. I think now those things are better left in the past. Later I got married and had 2 daughters, and then I separated from my wife. But I always thought about my other daughter, and I really wanted to find her. You know, I never even knew her name, but somehow she was very special to me.
Uriel had a trip to Los Angeles planned for October to visit relatives, a side of the family Dora knew nothing about. He agreed to visit Dora at the same time. When the day of his visit arrived, his train was delayed for 6 hours. Dora stood waiting for him, thinking about the past. Then, suddenly, she saw a tall man walking down the street towards her house, and she knew it was her father.
It's incredible. He's tall like me. We have the same features. He's handsome. So I no longer feel ugly. We have the same hands and feet, and he even has a heart murmur just like me. The only thing I don't have is his green eyes.
My sister threw a party for us, and I serenaded Dora with a mariachi song, Paloma Querida, which means beloved dove. I hugged her and I kissed her every opportunity I had. I'm planning another trip to Los Angeles next month, and we still talk on the phone every day.
People tell me they'd still be resentful after all this time because of the way he left. But I can't. I'm a forgiving person. I have my dad back. It's amazing. My life has changed completely. This really is a miraculous thing to happen.
Well, that really is the most incredible story, isn't it? You know, I think that shows just how modern technology, such as the internet, does not have to be responsible always for tearing people apart. It can also be responsible for bringing people together. And I think it shows also that if 2 people want to find each other enough, their wish can manifest itself, often in a quite unexpected way. So, remember, you are never given a wish without also being given the power to make it come true. You may have to work for it, however. Goodbye.